So the Sarambi of the Masjid Agung Demak is rumoured, supposed to have been from the old Kraton Majapahit. Certainly they're the finest set of column bases called Umpak in Jawa, Sindhi and Bali. And the carving style and the ancient look of these columns suggests that it's right. The pavilion itself is very similar to in proportion to the ancient Bali lantangs in the mountains of Bali. Even though the tomb complex has had a rather scary post-earthquake makeover, it's still the most authentically Majapahit Bali feeling of the 16th century architectural wonders of Islam Majapahit Java, with that very pronounced aling-aling and the beautiful padaraksa pilasters, lovely tiered roofs. But it's the formal classical Javanese gardens that are so magical, and this gate in particular with that famous winged Boma figure, apex of the roof of the main gate to the Namban Senopati's tomb. Inside the bathing area, someone has created a shrine, very yoni-like, with the Javanese offer sajen. So in front of the gate to the tomb, which is not open, only 4 days a week starting at 10 o'clock, we have the two bangsals, the pangapit, sort of outrider pavilions, Lar and Kidul, south and north, very strictly cardinal direction oriented Yogyakarta. So we'll go and have a look at the Sundang, the holy pond. And then she's taking it home. I'll drink it every day. says this is about a kilo. Heaven, I'm in heaven. It's in through the Chandi Bantar, this beautiful Padaraksa. One imagines that the Padaraksa at the Sunan Derajat temple would have been rather like this. Incredible.
Tanjung Kuno.
7 a.m. I've arrived at the famous Makam Sunan Gunung Jati, and the carving is extraordinarily 16th century Majapahit Zaman Wali, as they call it, the age of the Islamic saints. This is the fabulous Bale Prabu Siliwangi, all sort of under glass, the favourite motif that's on all of the Wali era buildings. These lovely Ziara platforms. Isn't that a great little pavilion with a platform in the middle? Terribly smart. Bale Prabu Siliwangi. Look at those lovely pots and the wings. This diamond stonework here with the plate decorative inserts, very popular on the north coast of the Sisi, the school. So at the top, behind that door, the famous door, is the tomb. All of these glassed-off pavilions are locked up by the royal family at the palace, the Kraton, only for special ceremonies. But there's a particularly strong interrelationship between this tomb and the palace. And amazingly, here's the Bali Sakanam, the six-poster with the extension, where the corpse of the sitting, lying sultan lies in state. Inside the Chuchunkop area. Grave of Sunan Gunung Jati's Chris. Incredible. The main Candi Bantar gate of the Kraton Kasupuan. You just feel as if it's in the last gasps of real breath and life left in it. It's just being municipalized and cheaply restored. It's so different from the atmosphere when I was here 20 years ago. But by miracle, these beautiful Bangsal, this Javanese pavilion, has survived. And here comes the light, so I better get shooting. This is the only Majapahit palace. I think it was built in about 1560, Islam Majapahit. It's the only palace still standing, intact, with this family still living here. But it seems to be on its last legs. Turn of this last century, the 1900s, sort of Victorian era Dutch plates, decorative trim, the front wall, but placing the old Buddhist deco medallions on that very Majapahit wall. South Indian gate flanking, could have had sort of simulating an elephant's trunk really. Could have had statues there, maybe not. Wonderful hybrid. Oh, look at these wonderful plinths. This bangsal ticket booth. Balai Bundar, like a Balinese Balai Bundar. What a wonderful courtyard this is. Wonderful disposition of pavilions, beautifully proportioned bases, hideous signage. This Chandi Bantar is quite unique because it's got two of those Makala head, symbolic Makala head wings, sort of wings. One on the main Chandi Bantar and then a pair of flanking Padaraksas with wings again. It says in the Desawarnana that in the 14th century that South Indian Makala, the demon beast here flanking the gates, was out of fashion, but somehow it survived in this stylized form, which is very popular in Bali. There's round demon. You can see the sort of demon with his mouth open here. Have to buy my book. Majapahit style to make it all mean something. This is the palace's private chapel. Form again, Hindu Khmer. Gosh, there's even a Khmer Garuda in the middle.
Sebagai simbol Pajajaran.
Oh, Pajajaran.
Karena dulu sebelum zaman wali,
Yeah.
Cirebon termasuk Pajajaran.
Cirebon used to be under the Hindu courts of Pajajaran Sunda. And then when the walis came, when it kalau udah masuk ke Islam Majapahit, this is dreadful what they've done. Look at this. Ugh, tapi nggak cocok. Terrible, some local landscape has gotten in here.
Foto-foto zaman dulu. Ini wadasan, spesifik motif Cirebon. The Rock Stone Cave.
The rock cave, yes, Kaidi is the most magnificent carriage.
Ada duplikat, tapi merambat kemana-mana.
Oh, so it sort of spreads everywhere.
Menyebarkan pengetahuan.
That's a symbol of the spread of knowledge. I've identified that as one of the. They always keep that. That's why this motive at Sunan Derajat, I found it. So we've got to keep this motive.
Guru harus mengajar murid.
Yeah. 1549 this was carved, and there's the Chinese elements, and we have the Islamic elements and the Indians who are Hindu elements. Right, the thing when it walks is a special mechanism and the tongue comes out, and this is so Balinese, isn't it? Majapahit had a sense of humour. So this is the special coach, the jolly, for the son of the Sultan when he was going to his circumcision. What a magnificent thing. Look at these mustakas from the top of the roofs. Not allowed to throw those away like the umpak wisdom. Here's a very Majapahit bit of carving, rumoured to be from the 16th century. Meditation pavilions, mountain meditation. Lovely pillow embellishments with the wings that he said are, again, the Garuda wings, which are Hindu. The Kaalaman, Kraton Kaanoman, Cirebon, with a white plaster version of the slightly older Kasupuan, Kasupuan being the leader or the pemimpin, reception pavilion in the outer court of the Kaanoman. Palace Mosque has a pair of symbolic mountains at its entrance. Very interesting mihrab in the style of the Masjid Agung. Lovely wudu, Portuguese tiles on the right. Oh, the great oak. Like a joglo. Beautiful. Umpak Sandis. Replica of the mihrab, that's its name. The pulpit. Inside the great mosque of Cirebon, the Masjid Agung Cirebon. Wow! How about this Sarambi? Look how low it is. Haji Dame has always said that these long pavilions were very low, and this one is obviously original. Apparently the great architect was sent from Majapahit, my guide said just then, to build the great mosque in Demak. Stopped here and built this mosque first. There's a lot of new work here, but this door is definitely early 16th century. All of the great doors of many mosques in Java and elsewhere have followed this lotus pattern on the central lozenge, what I call the Persian medallion shape. Truly magnificent thing is the detailing on this long pavilion. What a beauty. This magnificent, squat, long pavilion, Sarambi, which could have come from Majapahit because it's really got the most complete kinshut and carving. The visitors from Bandung, spiritual tourists filling up with the holy water. This is special gantong, just like the Hindu tradition of collecting the water from the Brahman's well. So I haven't been into the great mosque, the main body yet. All brick walls been painted red, but all these doors, these lawans. This is like finding the Holy Grail for me. Completely complete 16th century timber building. Look at the detailing in those tie beams. It's beautifully supported by metal so that it's still standing. What a building. Found the chain motif inside the Masjid Agung's inner sanctum. The famous chain motif from the Balirante. Did you find it? Sunan Prapat, Sunan Drajat. And the Anchat Saji forms, you find it Sunan Drajat. Also on that mihrab over there, more chain motifs. This tiny door, which is the only entrance door. And one imagines that the original mosque was a squatter building. They've added these larger sokogurus and tied another outer building, but all with Majapahit detailing the kinshuts and the beautiful pamantangs, but so refined, that work on the pamantang. I love these medallion walls. The last lap of my Majapahit history quest. The end of Java, the province of Banten. I'm at Banten Lama, and these are the remains of the old Kraton Kaibon, which was sort of twinned with Cirebon. Started the Islamic era of Majapahit. Tragically, this palace and the one nearby were destroyed by the Dutch after a disagreement with the sitting Sultan in the 1830s. But enough remains in the Majapahit style to make it extremely interesting. It really is a classic Majapahit palace with the Candi Bantars and the Padaraksa gates leading to this central sort of Anchat Saji court, the various side courts. Seems to be a tall sort of sitting gill, or the Sultan's quarters, the surrounding walls. Very interesting corner building there. It's worth a intense study, this. All the famous 18th century drawings and lithographs of this palace, or the ruins of the palace, were drawn from across the river, west of the river. It's like 5 gates that run along the banks of the river leading into the palace, which seems to have had a sort of a Dutch colonial makeover in maybe the 16th century. Like the other palace, there was Castile, the Dutch architect, was involved. Looks like a version of Majapahit Dutch hand. So I'm inside the Masjid Agung Banten. A very special thing. Up on the wondrous carpet with the magical Cirebon Makala. Legend says that the Makala, the pinnacles at the top of this mosque, were brought here from Cirebon. But these beautiful bollards, called umpak in Java, in the Hanafi Chinese style, because the Hanafi Muslims were first to bring Islam to the north coast of Java, and it's a very important relationship between Cirebon and Banten. But this gorgeous Wantalan type structure is rumoured to be from the late 15th century. So they say it's never been touched, but I think it has. Oh dear, the lovely Salasar, it's out the front. Bit of a mess, this graveyard, but some of these Batu Nisans are very special, rather unique. Seen some on the Makala Majapahit style. Top of the famous Menara Banten, which sits in front of the Masjid Agung Banten. Now we see the door here is exactly like the door that I imagine Rajan Sapat from Banten, who'd been a prisoner taken from Majapahit, Hindu architect. And this is either copied from the Masjid Cipta Rasa. Well, this inspired the Cipta Rasa, most probably the former. Group of ruined pieces, fragments from the old palace gate, the old Surosowan Palace of Banten Lama. But it's interesting to see the very Hindu motifs, almost in the Cirebon fluid style. Carved limestone bits and pieces. So with lovely Majapahit style decorations. Look at that lovely corrugated iron pendopo. Oh, interesting little chungkup down here. The Batu Nisans are Majapahit style. Oh, this is completely 100% East Bali. I saw a capital like this in Pejeng just last week. Oh wow, oh my god, that's beautiful, that wall over there. What gorgeous light. Well, that's a fabulous little gedong with wonderful decorations. Munchkin land. Raden Ayu Susiati, Raden Ajang Ernie, Raden Masukarman, Raden Ayu Surtiati. All the royals are here, and that's an important chungkup. Yes, umur kunut apa jelo bang. Ini yang cantik, yang tembok ini unik. This is the most beautiful wall. Ini Sunan Demang dipugar. Wow. Purba di Kusumo. Beautiful. Here's David Reeves' toy boy. The scholar. Kamu bikin apa? S2-nya mengenai?
Belum Pak, masih semester 1.
Mengenai judulnya?
Nanti nilai akulturasi Islam untuk
Akulturasi Islam masuk ke Kediri dari zaman Hindu ya? Ya. Kok tertarik untuk bikin mengenai itu? Kenapa?
Ya karena memang sumbernya jarang, saya malah misteri itu saya ingin mengungkapkan.
Malah saya lagi mendokumentasikan runtuhnya Hindu masuknya Islam. Tapi ini menarik sekali. Ini mungkin aslinya yang dibawa. Ini masih ada sendi, karena zaman sendi kekuatan ajaibnya adalah diumpak. Diumpaknya nggak boleh dibuang, nanti undang sial. The statue must have been huge to sit on this base. Interesting. They're so atmospheric, these graves. It really is an old temple site. It's been taken over by the Muslim community, but they've kept quite a bit of the pavilion bases. There's lovely courtyards and beautiful frangipani forest. And inside the mosque, this is the old Javanese mosque. Rather lovely three-tiered mosque. Everyone's reading their scriptures in the afternoon. That's the women's section. Mosques are also a great place for siestas. Selamat sore Pak. Is the juru kunci for the Sunan Amangkurat. Ini kan tiang Jawi kan, menurut nenek moyang. It's a lovely mosque. Inside the outer gate we have this gate and a Majapahit wall with this beautiful decoration and the inevitable stainless steel.
أفرأيتم ما تمنون أنتم تخلقونه أم نحن الخالقون نحن قدرنا بينكم الموت وما نحن بمسبوقين إلا أن نبدل أمثالكم وننشئكم فيما لا تعلمون ولقد علمتم بهذا الحديث
Finally, after 2 years of tracking it down, I find the Chungkup Sunan Amangkurat. Sangat mirip dengan yang di masjid di Kudus, Masjid Menara. The side and back of the Chungkup of Amangkurat the Fourth. First, the Kuncham was telling me, is in Imogiri? I seem to remember the Amankurats coming from Kartasura. Oh, and this lovely mustaka on the roof with those lovely dores. Look at that cute mustaka. So inside the Chungkop, this beautiful column, late Majapahit style florin carving, and then holy of holies, the lovely Rante. The Rante carving we find in all the Chungkops, the Sunnah.